Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on this beautiful pineapple lace shawl. This is using Bernat Handicrafter crochet thread and a really small crochet hook like you see here. It's a 2mm and it's a US 4, and there's a conversion size chart on this particular pattern if you need that. So today let me tell you a little bit about the yarn, and then we're going to dive right into this pattern. I'm going through the instructions. So this is Bernat Handicrafter thread yarn, and you can see that it does a really great job. It's exceptionally strong, great for bags and all those kind of things, but this also is very good for really elegant looks. Maybe you want this shawl for a wedding. If you did it in different kinds of colors, you have a great opportunity to do so. So what you're going to notice here is that there is a pineapple, and we work from the bottom section up here, and we work and we fan it out, and then we work the pineapple. So if this was done, you can see the pineapple is just resting inside of the work. So you're using a 2mm size US 4 crochet hook in order to do this, and it's not hard to do, and it's really quite wonderful. So this is a really good idea, and what we're going to do in the next part of this tutorial is I'll walk you through the diagram, and then we'll start going through step by step. Just as a full disclaimer, the rest of this tutorial will be switching over to Caron Simply Soft yarn in a size H 5mm crochet hook. I have a really hard time crocheting with such a small hook here on camera that I'm going to switch it out. So there's going to be two different options. You can either do this lace version that you see here using the instructions that are provided, or you can switch over with me and do the other sides that I have written a pattern for you. It's the same pattern, just a different set of instructions because it's a bigger hook and also different yarn. So without further ado, let's move on to today's tutorial. So here's the crochet diagram. Regardless if you're working with it with crochet thread or using the Caron Simply Soft, the diagram is still going to be the same, as the stitches are still the same. So you're going to be noticing that we are going to start up, and we just have to ignore the outside border. So you're going to see all these plus signs. So those are single crochets. So you can see here is the instructions for what those symbols mean. So you have to worry about the surrounding ones later. So you're going to start off right here, and you're going to chain a certain amount of count in order to do it. So if you're working with the pineapple lace version, you're going, or pineapple lace with the crochet thread, it's 394 chains that you need in order to go all the way across to get the dimensions that are in the project. And for the Caron Simply Soft, the size H 5mm crochet hook, you only need to chain 200. So there's a significant difference in the chain counts, but you shouldn't be surprised it's a different size hook. So once you get all the way across, we're going to then count back, and we're going to start making the foundation in order to jump back, and there's a lot of chain work within this entire project. So in between each one of these pineapples that you see, there is a consistency of this that goes up. So even though it's only showing you 2 repeat patterns on this, just to visualize, this over here is the same as this, and then it transitions to another and another. So you're going to notice that this is the middle section. So if you eliminate this out, just to visualize, this is on the same one over here. So you're going to then work your way back, and you're just going to be able to count the number of chains. And on my own pattern, what I did is that I just went and I looked ahead, and I just started writing my notes in the project. So what I did is that when I was doing it myself, is that I wrote the number of chain counts as I was doing it. So there was chains of 7, there was 3s, there was 5s, and if you do that in your pattern right off the hop, it makes it a lot easier for you to be able to follow. So you can just opt to do that if you wish. So you're just going to continue to work across and just get this whole pineapple done, and you're going to notice that there's a repeat. So from this row right here to this row is the exact same pattern. So when you get that done all the way up here, you come back down here and you restart again. So when you go to finish up this project right in the end, you are going to make sure that you are finishing up right here on this row. Okay, so it's the same as this row right here. Okay, so this is just, this section here is just showing you how it's repeating into each other. It just makes it a lot easier, but in order to move up, in order to do the edging, you need to finish off on row number 9. So row number 9 is what happens is before you start doing the edging. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna work our way back and forth, and I'm gonna show you just only one repeat like so, and then I'm gonna leave the rest of it for you, and then you can just reverse the video and continue to go like as you see it here. If you would like to make this pattern bigger or smaller, the multiple counts are 15. So if you chain in sets of 15, so you go 15, 15, 15, 15, when you're satisfied with the length, just add an additional 5 and you will have the right balance in order to continue to add more pineapples. So if you want more pineapples, you want it longer, just add more multiples of 15. And then of course if you want more pineapples stacked on each other, just don't stop when I tell you and just continue along. So without further ado, let's grab our yarn and let's continue. For demonstration reasons, I am going to be showing you size H 5mm crochet hook, the version that is adapted, and if this is the lace version, the instructions are still the same. It's just the chain counts are different right in the very beginning. So if you're working with the crochet lace thread, then you are going to chain 394. If you're doing my version of the adapted, it's chaining of 200, and I'm just gonna do a small sample with you. So just continue to chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if you want to change the size completely, if you just chain in sets of 15, then you can make your own size as well. So please continue to do whatever you want to do, and I'll see you at the end of this chain. So now that you've done your chain, what we're gonna do now is establish this first part. So if it helps you to write things down on your pattern, if you want to print it, there is 7 chains in this big sections. So I write down the number 7, and you can do 7 and 7, and then there's 3 in the other ones. You're gonna notice that all these little pineapple strips that you see here, they're all made up of chaining 3. So 3 is almost a consistent number each and every time. So then how many do we have to skip over? So we're gonna do the first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's gonna be 5 chains here, and there's gonna be 5 here, 5, and 5. So we just have to watch our counts right off the hop, and then you'll get yourself started and you'll be on the right path. So let's get ourselves started. We're gonna go 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I want you to double crochet into the 4th chain. And I want you to double crochet a total of 2 times. So that was 1 and 2. Just like you see. So that first one, that chains that you skipped, is considered 1 double crochet. There's another and another, so there's a total of 3. So now we have to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then we come back down on the chain and we count and skip 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and go to the 6th, and I want you to single crochet. Now we're gonna chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and I want you to skip over 2 chains. So 1 and 2, go to the 3rd, and single crochet. So that is the middle of your pineapple that you just established right here. Okay, so let's continue along. So we're gonna chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then how many do you skip? You skip 5, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go to the 6th and single crochet in. Sorry, actually no, you don't single crochet into that one. You double crochet a total of 2 times. So this is what's separating the 2 pineapples apart from each other. And I'll talk a little bit about this space in just a moment. So you got 2 double crochets, then you chain 1, and then 2 double crochets into the same one. So there's gonna be a total of 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, all in the same stitch right in the middle. So if I have just a small sample here, so what you're gonna do is that this here is the section that divides the pineapple, so you just keep repeating this section over and over and over now. So you have the chain 7, you skip over to the 6, you single crochet, chain 3, skip over 2, and then go to the 3rd for single, and then chain 7, and etc. So you keep creating this right here. So we're gonna do it one last time as if you're going down to the other side completely. So you're gonna chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then you skip over. How many are you gonna skip? You're gonna skip a total of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then single crochet in. So right off the hop it kind of feels a little bit flimsy, harder to hold, but it's just a matter of getting your pattern started. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip over 2, 1, 2, go to the 3rd for a single crochet. And now you're heading to the other side, so you're gonna chain 7. So this section right here was the middle of the next pineapple, if you can visualize that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and because you're up all the way to the end, you can just go right into the very last stitch. If you're off by 1 or 2, you can probably almost get away with it if you really had that issue, but if not, just you can count it over. It's the 6th one over, and you're going to double crochet a total of 3 times. So only in the very edges is there ever going to be 3 double crochets that stand with each other. The ones that separate the pineapples, there will always be the same thing of 2 and then chain 1 and 2. So this is your kind of your established base here. You're gonna see that a pineapple is gonna be in these sections here, and this is the middle. So let me bring back the diagram and show you something else. So as I bring back the diagram, we've just now come ourselves all the way across, and now we're gonna move up. I wanna show you something that's consistent. The edges are always going to be the same regardless of what edge it is. Okay, it's always going to be 3 double crochets. So if it's the one that's starting, it'll be chain 3, which counts as 1, and there will be 2 into the same one. And you're going to notice that in between all of the pineapples, these exist. Okay, they're always going to be the same. So what we have to really pay attention to is the amount of chain counts in all of it as we go along in the middle of here. It's not hard to follow, it's consistent. So what happens on this side happens on the other side. Okay, and then because you're moving on the same row, what happens on this side was the same as this and this, and etc. So if you can see the balance, it makes this pattern a lot easier to be able to follow. So let's move on to row number 2, where we're going to chain up to 3, 2 double crochets into the same one, and then we're chaining 3. We're going to double crochet around this whole chain, or sorry, single crochet around this whole chain, and then chain 5 and single crochet around this chain. So you don't need to go into a specific stitch because that will balance out as it stretches, and then chain 3, and we do the center. So the centers will always be the same. 2 double crochets into this chain 1 space, followed by chain 1 and 2 into that same space, and then what you already did over here is the exact same. So as your project moves it down, even if this wasn't the edge, it'll still be the same thing happening until you get to the edge. Let's move along to row number 2. So let's move up to row number 2, and we're going to chain a total of 3. So 1, 2, 3, that's your first double crochet, that's what it counts as, and you're gonna double crochet 2 more times into that same stitch right underneath. Okay, so there should be 3, what appears to be 3 stitches coming out of the same stitch right in the edge, just like you see. So now we're gonna move across, and we're gonna chain up 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and this is the chain 7 space, right? You're just gonna go right around the chain. Don't go into any stitches, and just single crochet, and then you're gonna chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you were going to jump to the next chain 2 space. So you skip over this middle section completely and just go around the space. So because you're going around the space, as this flexes around, this will find its resting spot on its own, which is fabulous. So now we're gonna head to the first time we're gonna break in between the pineapples, and we'll be doing this each and every time. So there'll always be 3 chains, there will always be 5 in the middle of the pineapple, and there will always be 3 on the other side in this row. So 1, 2, 3, and then this is the middle section that will separate them. So there is going to be 2 double crochet into that chain 1 space, followed by chain 1 and 2 double crochet. And then you keep moving. So what happened over here is going to happen again and again and again until you get to the end. So just as a recap, it's going to chain 3. You're going to single crochet around this chain 7 space, and then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then go to the next chain 7. So skip over this middle one completely and single crochet, and then you'll chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So now you are coming up to the other side. If you weren't, you just continue what you know right here in the center, and if it's the edge right you're going to go into the turning chain right at the top into the chain itself, and you're going to double crochet a total of 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so there is what it looks like at this point. So it looks very similar to the diagram because it is the diagram, it's just done in crochet format. So let's move back to the diagram and let's check out row number 3. So let's examine row number 3. Row number 3 is the most work out of all of them. These are trebles that you see here, and there's a total of 11 of them. So we're gonna chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet, and 2 more because the edges are always gonna be the same, and then we jump immediately to this chain 5 space. So we skip right over here and put in 11 trebles. of all the rows, row number 3 is the most work. Okay, these trebles take a little bit of extra time, but they look so fabulous, so don't deny that. So then as soon as you get those 11 done, you immediately just come into the middle with 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, and then jump again to the next chain 5 space with another 11, and you keep doing that all the way to the other side. And then once you get to the other side, there's just 3 double crochets in the side. So let's move along to row number 3. So from a structure point of view, this chain 5 that's right in the center, and it's in the center where you see the edges, and that chain 5s are going to be exactly what you are going to concentrate on. This is the start of the pineapple in this chain 5. So let's begin, and we're going to chain up 3 and 2 more double crochets into the same spot. The edges will always be the same. So there's no chains at this point. We immediately come to the next chain 5 space. It's right in the center. So skip over this chain 3, go right to the chain 5, and I want you to wrap that hook twice for a treble and go right into the space, and I want you to do trebles around there. You need to keep a count on these. So after you do a whack of them, make sure you do verify and count, because if you're off by 1 or 2, it makes a huge difference in the next row, which I did that on my sample, and I had to frog 2 rows because I had done that. So what I need to do is just treble a total of 11 times, and usually if I'm by myself I will count these out as I go, and then I do a verification because I'm a little paranoid because I did get it wrong on one of the rows, and I had a frog a substantial amount of work. If you're doing the crochet thread, you certainly want to count for sure, because you got a lot more work ahead of you, because there's a lot more of these pineapples that exist. So let's just do a count here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I'm gonna do 10 and 11. So I now have my 11 in. Well, I did. Now I do. And now as soon as those 11 are in, I come immediately to the one that separates them right in the center, and I immediately just double crochet. So by doing so, it pulls that in line with it. So you're going to be 2 double crochets in the center, followed by chain 2, and then chain 1, sorry, and then 2 double crochets into the middle. So you keep doing that all the way across. So you come to the next chain 5 space, and then you do the same thing in the middles. So this is as if you're coming to the other side. So again, I've got my chain 5. It'd be my remaining if it was if you were on the end, and so there'd be 11 trebles. Sorry about that. So that's 2, 3, it's 4, it's 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 9, 10, and 11. So I got 11 in. I don't like to just I get confused. Sometimes I watch TV or whatever, so I'm going to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So you want to verify that first, and so when you come into the edge, then you just immediately go right into the chain, the final chain, the turning chain, and you will double crochet a total of 3 times. So that was row number 3, and so you can see that this really does do the nice establishing pattern for this. So let's move along to row number 4. So in row number 4, what we're gonna do then is that we're gonna start establishing these chain 3s that you see. So you're gonna immediately do what you'd always do in the edge, and then you chain 2, and then you come to the first one, chain 3, skip 1, and then single crochet in the next. Chain 3, skip 1, single crochet in the next. You should have a total count of 5 of these chain 3 spaces on each pineapple going all the way across. When you get to the next section, you immediately just chain 2, and then you do the middle section right here, and then chain 2 and start all over again. Make sure in the when I did this, where I went wrong was right here, and that's the very first time I ever went, is that I came in right here and I accidentally skipped this completely. So I went from here all the way to here, and I had forgotten this one here, so it makes my counts wrong. So I would tell you, if it were me and I were you, make sure you do count that there's 5 spaces right at this point, because then the rest of it's easier to tell. It's just right at the spot. It can be a little confusing. Let's move along to row number 4. So let's move along. We're gonna chain up 3 and 2 double crochets in there. So the edging is always gonna be the same, so it should be coming automatic for you at this moment. And now we're gonna start establishing our first section of these chain 3 spaces. So we immediately chain 2 before we begin, and we come into the first treble that is leaning. Okay, so, and we just single crochet and then followed by chain 3. 1, 2 and 3. Skip 1 and single crochet into the next. And you keep doing that all across your treble fan right here. So 1, 2, 3, skip 1, single into the next. So 1, 2, 3, skip 1, single crochet in the next. 1, 2, 3, single crochet, skip 1 and single crochet in the next, and do it one last time. So 1, 2, 3 and go into the last one. So now you should have a total count of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there should be 5 chain 3 spaces. So before you attach it to the middle, just chain 2 first, and now just do your middle as normal. So it's 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet. And so you're just gonna continue to repeat all the way across the row using the same format. So we chain 2 first, and then we come into the first treble that's leaning over and single crochet. So chain 3, skip 1, single into the next. So 1, 2, 3, skip 1, single into the next. So 1, 2, 3, skip 1, single crochet the next. 1, 2, 3, skip 1, single into the next. 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the final one. So when I made a mistake, I accidentally missed this final one when I did it in a practice trial. So then chain up 2 before you do the edge, and then you're going to come into the turning chain of 3 double crochets as always. Okay, and that was row number 4. So let's move along to row number 5. So row number 5, we're now going to start, and we're gonna we're gonna start here, and we're going to double crochet a total of 3 times. That chain 3 counts as one of them. Now this time, last time we did a skipping of chain 2 here, and this time it's 3, the next one's 4, the next one's 5, and the last one is 7. So remember 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7. So what happens is that the first single crochet is gonna go into the chain 3 space, and you do the same thing. So chain 3, go into the next space, and so on. So because there's 5 here, you can only have 4 in the next time you do that, and it continues in that same passion all the way to do your pineapples. So on this side, before you attach to the middle, like you had over here, there's chaining a 3 and then you do your middle. So chain 3 again, coming to the first space, and so on. And when you come to the end, it's the same thing. So just be consistent as you work your way across row number 5. So let's move up to row number 5. So we're gonna chain up 3, counts as a double crochet, and you're gonna double crochet 2 more times. So now we're gonna chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3. And this, I love this row. You know why? Everything is a chain 3. So I'm chaining 3 and I'm going to the first chain 3 space. Okay, if you're not sure, just look where you are on the fan of trebles, and you're noticing that you're skipping the first one anyway. That was your chain 2. So this must be your chain 3. And you're gonna single crochet. So everything on this row, every time you hit it, is always gonna be chaining a 3. That's the nice thing about it. So 1, 2, 3, go to the next space. Single crochet. 1, 2, 3, come to the next space, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, next space, and then 1, 2, 3, next space. So what you have here this time is that there's gonna be a total of 4 chain 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then see, this is the space before the edge. We don't go in there, so we just chain 3. So 1, 2, 3 and do your middle as you normally would. So 2 double crochet first, chain 1, 2 double crochet, and now you work your way all the way across doing the same fashion. So chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, come to the first chain 3 space. Remember, you've got to skip this first one. Okay, you're just going right into the top of the fan work, and then 1, 2, 3, go to the next space, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then coming up here, and then that's it. So now you just have this space that's on the edge, we don't go in there, and you go 1, 2, 3, and you place your 3 double crochets then right on the edge. So this is an easy one to remember. Everything was about chaining of 3s. And so you're gonna notice that it's gonna start going out like this on you. Don't worry about it. It will balance out. So you'll see that happening very shortly. Let's move along to row number 6. So row number 6, we're gonna start up, chain up 3. You got your 3 double crochets. So this time there's gonna be 4 chains now here, and then you come to these spaces. As you see, there's only gonna be 3 groups this time, and then chain 4, and then in the middle chain 4. Then you do the middle section and then chain 4. So just remember that these edges here get more and more chains as the pineapple separates then from the edge work that you see. So let's keep moving on row number 6. So let's chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then coming into the same space or same stitch, you're gonna do 2 more double crochets. So this time we're gonna chain 4 right off the hop. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we come to our first chain 3 space, and we're gonna single in, but we still do our chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and go to the next space. 1, 2, 3, go to the next space, and then 1, 2, 3, and go to the next space. And now you're out of spaces because this one here leads to the middle. So now you chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then come into the middle. So it's gonna be the same thing as always. So it's nice to have that stabilizer right in the middle, and then chain 1 and 2 double crochets. And you keep doing that all the way across. So to start it again is chaining of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, come to the first chain 3 space, single, 1, 2, 3, go to the next space, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and come to this space, and look, this space here leads to the end, so I know I don't go in there, so I chain up 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and when it's on the edge, it's always gonna be in the turning chain of 3 double crochets. Just like that. Okay, and that was row number 6. So let's move along to row number 7. So we're continuing now to move up, and row number 7, you're gonna notice that there's more of a space here at this point. So you're gonna chain up 3, you have your 2 into the same. This time there will be 5, and then you'll go into these 3, which only leaves you 2 this time. Chain 5, do the middle, chain 5, and do the next 2, chain 5. Continue all the way, and then at the end there will be 3 into the edge spots. Let's move along. Row number 7. So moving all the way across then for row number 7, let's begin, chain up 3 and 2 more double crochets into the same one. This time we chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we come into the first chain 3 space available to you, single crochet, and then chain 3, and then come to the next chain 3 space, single crochet, and then chain 3, come to the next one, and you're done. That's all their chain 3 spaces there are for you. And now you chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you come to the middle. So you can see the pineapple is really separating from that middle sections, and that's what makes it really quite desirable. So 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet as always. Just like you see. So you see it really kind of just hovering right in the middle, right? So you keep doing that. So chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then come into the first. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then come into the next one, and that's it. You're out of those, and then you see the next one leads to the end. So if this was a middle section, it would just be the middle section. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then just in the turning chain 3 double crochets. So that was row number 7. So row number 8 is the final before the repeat pattern begins all over again. So we're just gonna come along, chain up 3, 2 double crochets into the same one, and this time there'll be 7 chains, and then we come into the first chain 3 and come across. So there'll only be 1 left on top, then another 7 in the middle, and we keep doing that all the way across, and then when you get to the other side there'll be 3 in the end. So you'll notice that the repeat pattern shows you from here, okay, this is row number 2 all the way to number 8, because you will see that this line here, this is the beginning line as you saw it right down here. Okay, so it's just showing you how it builds up, but the actual repeat is down here. So you can reverse the video at this at that point, and then you can just continue to follow it up with me. And then at the very end you want to finish off on row number 8 just like you see up here, and then we'll start the edging going all the way around. So let's move along and let's start our row and final row in the repeat of number 8. So row number 8 is really quite an easy one. So we're gonna chain up 3 and 2 more into the same one as always. Okay, so now we have to chain 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then we come into the first chain 3 space and single in, and then chain 3, and then the next chain 3, and that's all there is. Okay, it's just that one, and now you end up with the middle here. So this one's a really quick row. So this chain 7 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then you do your middle as normal. So there'll be 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochet, and you continue that same idea going all the way across your row. So you'll see that there's a lot of chain work in this particular row that you see. So let's keep on going. So 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then just come to the first chain 3 space, and 1, 2, 3, come to the next one, and then chain 7 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and when you come to the other side you're just going to go into the turning chain as always, and you're going to put in 3 double crochets. So at this point the repeat pattern is now done. You can reverse this video back to go to row number 2 once again, and row number 2 will pick you up again, and row number 2 will then take you to where you're about to show you right here when we establish the chains that hold all of this section right here. You'll notice that it looks like it's going off. It's just because of the way that it's not been stretched properly yet, but you can trust in it because my original sample that I've been working on has all of that completely done, and this is what it looks like in a different color, and I've been really quite pleased with that as well. So this is kind of what your goals are. So in my sample here for Caron Simply Soft, there's only 3 pineapples that sit on top of each other, and you can add more if you wish, and you might need more yarn if you go to do that, and there's a repeat pattern of 13 pineapples in a row that go all the way across in order to do it. But you can really get a good view on how to do the pineapple, or how it looks in different types of yarn like this. So this is my sample, and I'm now ready to do the edging of it. If you want it bigger, then just make it bigger. It's completely up to you. You just keep adding more pineapples. You can just add more repeat rows. So it's really quite an easy thing to do, but now we're gonna move on to the edging. There's 2 rows that go not all the way around this. There's nothing that goes in the top of the pineapples like you see. So when you're wearing this, your pineapples will be upside down. So let's visualize it like that when you go to wear it. So what you're having here is that when you go to do this is that you're going to come along the edge. Okay, you're gonna come down and then straight across here, and we're gonna strengthen this edge up here because this is where you're gonna be wearing it around your neck, and the other rows that we have here, we leave this completely untouched here at the bottom so that your pineapples are not interfering with anything. So let's move along to doing edging of row number 1 of 2. To do the edging, when you stop, you don't fasten off, and you finish off on row number 8. Okay, so you see it's the same thing as row number 8 here. So now you don't fasten off, but now you're going to work down the edge first. So instead of going back across the top of the pineapples, you're gonna come down the edge. And so all we're just gonna do then is we're gonna chain up 1, and we're gonna just work 2 double crochets into these side chain or sides that you have all the way down to the next corner, which is not very far. So all you're just gonna do is just come around the post itself, and you're gonna put in 2 single crochets into the first post, and then stretch it out, and then into the next one here you're going to put another 2. And so you keep moving down all of your path that way. So you keep moving down, so keep going 2 single crochets into each, and then just keep opening it up if you have to, and just put 2 into each. So in the corner what you want to do is that you want to apply 2 double crochets into the actual corner itself. So when you come to the corner itself, you're gonna come down and make sure 2 goes into the edge, and then you're gonna then go down the other side, and I'll meet you there in just a moment. So let me get caught up to there, and I'll see you there in just a moment. So as you come up down to the edge, you went 2 single crochets into the edge, and then in the bottom of those where they all are, there's gonna be 2 single crochets here. So because now you're working, this is the starting chain that we worked on, we are just gonna do 1 single crochet to each of these as you go across. Okay, and then all you just need to do then is go back up the other side, but you're not gonna go across that top section of where you were before. We're only doing 3 sides when we go to do this. So you're gonna go all the way across, you're gonna put 2 single crochets into the very last one of this, and then you're gonna move up the side, and then you're gonna stop and wait for me there. So don't go across the top of the pineapple, because we don't do anything at this section any longer. So continue to single crochet yourself all the way across. So just as a quick recap, I'm still going along the bottom chain that I worked with, and I still need to turn and go up the one side as I do it. So I want just to verify that you are going to do that as well. And remember, when you go up the sides, it's just easy as 2 single crochets into each of the posts that go up the side. So it's really quite an easy pattern to be able to follow. Even if you're off by a count, this particular pattern really doesn't matter. So I'm on the edge, I wanna make sure there's 2, so I got 1 here already, and I wanna make sure there's 2 single crochets in there, and then I start working my way up. So just pull it apart and get the posts separated so you can put in your 2 single crochets, and do the same thing then, working your way all the way up. And then I want you to stop when you get to this top side, and again this one is not a very big section right here. So I'll see you at the end of this row, and then we'll continue to move and do 1 row together. So as you come up all the way to the top of the other side here, what I strongly recommend is that your final one, you should always put 2 in there. The final one should go right into an actual holding spot, so like in the top of the single or top of the double crochet, and therefore it won't slide down on you. So you leave the top of the pineapple alone, and now we're gonna turn and work and do something completely different. I've never done anything like this before, and let's begin the next and final row. So the final row, just of the 3 sides that you're doing only, you're gonna chain up 1 first, and then single crochet into that first stitch. So here's what we're gonna do then, is that you're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then you're just gonna single crochet into the side of this single you're gonna half double crochet into the side of this single. So wrap the hook and go into the side of that single crochet, and then pull through, and then pull through all of it. It's a half double crochet. I'll show that again. So skip 1 stitch, single crochet into the next, and let's do that again. So chain 3, so 1, 2 and 3, come into the side of this single crochet right in the same one, or so you gotta wrap that hook first, and then going in, pull through, and then pull through all 3 loops for a half double crochet. So it's gonna require you to pay attention a little bit, right? So skip 1, single crochet in the next, and you're gonna do this basically following it even around the corner of doing the same thing. So there's no special things on the corner. So chain 3 and half double crochet into the side of the single crochet in order to get it to work. So it's gonna leave these nice bubbling kind of looks on the outside that you see. So skip 1, single crochet in the next, chain 3, and then come in to the outside. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna leave the rest for this, go all the way to and do all 3 sides, and then fasten off, weave in your yarn tails, and that's it. You are done, and I'll leave a photograph here of what it's gonna look like in the end. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations as well as thecrochetcrowd.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.